Scores of store owners in the East Lake Street section of Minneapolis spent the day cleaning up and calculating their losses from yesterday's storm. Our Dave Andrews is standing by live now on Lake Street with a look at the destruction that was sustained there when the tornado touched down. Dave?
Cindy, much of this section of the city of Minneapolis is still without power at this hour, and of course that has hampered many of the owners of shop stores as well as many homeowners in this section of the city from getting their lives back to normal. For some, though, it's going to be weeks before they are back in a normal situation. The city of Minneapolis is now in the process of coming up with an initial damage estimate for all local, private, and public property. Right now it stands at close to $10 million, but it is expected to go much higher.
And much of that damage has been sustained here along East Lake near Chicago Avenue. Here inside Robert's shoe store, employees and customers were forced to dive for cover when the storefront windows began exploding under the force of the twister.
Well, it's just like all hell broke loose. Everything broke loose. Just like you were just worse than Pearl Harbor and Guadalcanal. Everything just broke like hell.
What did you and the customers do when it hit?
I dragged them all towards the back of the store.
To get away from the windows?
Away from the windows, right. So that nobody gets cut by glass and hurt.
And what did it feel like?
It's a hard feeling. It's a feeling you wouldn't want to describe. It's miserable.
Did you at any point think that your lives were in danger?
It was too much in shock to even think.
But today there was a lot of thinking going on, especially by insurance adjusters who could be seen on every street going over the damages with their clients. Insurance policies will undergo supreme tests over the next several weeks. In this Sears parking lot alone, there were thousands of dollars in potential auto claims. Close to 20 cars were crumpled by the tornado. At this demolished appliance service store, the owner said he and his insurance man have just begun to assess the damage.
You got to see for yourself everything that was on shelves is blown over. You know, we have, it's an inventory of parts basically, so we've got that problem of separating it out and even deciding what it might be before we can, you know, get back in business. So
you have no idea at this point how much the damage is going to be?
No, our inventory is probably $250,000 in parts, but you know, that's probably the least of it in terms of the structural damage to the roof and all the shelving and desks and water damage and that sort of thing.
And Cindy, one more final note here from Minneapolis. City officials are warning especially homeowners who are going to have to do a lot of rebuilding and reconstructing to be on the lookout for rip-off artists. That is a possibility. People coming in trying to take advantage of the situation, trying to sell you a cheap reconstruction job on your home when in fact you may not get the job done. So that is one thing that people that have suffered damage should be on the lookout for. Back to you.
Dave.
This is a hook right here. This was a picture taken from our radar at about 10 minutes before 4 yesterday afternoon, and there is that hook echo right there over Lake Harriet, southern Minneapolis. There it is, hook echo. And about just after 4 o'clock, about 15 minutes later, that thunderstorm and that hook echo moved right over the Roseville area, just northeast of Little Canada, where it went back up into the clouds. And again, there's that counterclockwise circulation, that hook. And that is a classic hook echo, a tornado signature. And we saw a couple of those on radar yesterday before those warnings were issued. And we're going to talk about that path of the tornado one more time. Yesterday there was some confusion as how many tornadoes moved through the Twin Cities. We had thought 2 or 3. Now it's been confirmed that only 1 tornado moved through the Twin Cities. It started off at about 349 around 50th in France, moved right across the midway section near KSTP about 1,000 yards outside our window, and ended up just near northeast of Little Canada at about 416. It only took 26 minutes to progress along that path, which was 15 miles long and ranged in width from about 75 yards to just over 2.5 blocks wide. An incredible amount of destruction in just 26 minutes.